Hey guys, last few weeks or about a month or so I've been kind of working on this shaper project as well, kind of working on it along with the Quincy compressor project I just finished up. This one here basically, this is the shaper you've probably seen in my previous videos where I've just used it to cut a tenon that fits in the corresponding groove. And what I've done is I've taken both of the cutters and stacked them on this shaper. And I've also mounted a power feed, which we'll show you through the process here. But I just want to show you this whole simple process. You can buy a system like this already online. There's a manufacturer that makes a system that's very identical to this. I know the owner of the manufacturer very well. It is a very sound system. It's just that it is a few dollars. It's actually quite a few dollars, but it's very precision. Being that I do this kind of on the side and kind of part-time, I couldn't really justify spending, well over $3,000 to $4,000 just for a simple system. So I've made my own version of it. It's similar, but it's different. So it uses the same concept, but the jigs are different. So I'm going to walk through with you and show you just exactly how the system works. And then I've cut 4 pieces to make a door frame that I'm going to show you here as well. I haven't tested the system out entirely, so this will be a good chance for me to see as far as where I need to make any adjustments. So, alright. Okay, so the way this works is between the 2 cutters here there's a spacer. That space is approximately 1/4 inch. Basically I had figured out that I needed to have the sled a little bit taller than this cutter on the bottom here when it was set at its appropriate height. By doing that, you can make the sled thicker if you want. In this case, my sled is about 1.5 inches thick, actually about 1 inch and 9/16, because on the very bottom here, I have a couple pieces of a plastic laminate that I contact cemented to the bottom. This here is just a track. I think I got it from Rockler's. It's 3/4 inch wide and about 3/8 of an inch thick. And it's got some adjusting screws here, but I've moved those in just for a simple reason. It causes a little bit of binding, but as long as I reference off the, keep pushing towards the fence, it'll always cut the same amount. So there is a little bit of slop here, but I'm always pushing this way, so it's always against the furthest point of the slot in the table. So the way this works is, this is a setup piece here, but basically I just slide this up against the fence and I use this big toggle clamp to clamp it in place. I would start the shaper and I would cut this groove or this tenon first, pull it back, flip it around, push it in, clamp it down, and repeat the same process. I would do that for both the top and bottom and any middle rails I would need. Then once I'm done with that, I made this jig right here, and this is a piece of ash, I think. Yeah, it's actually a piece of ash. Well, that just doesn't sound right. Anyways, I've got a piece of 3/8 by 3/4 inch wide aluminum T-track on the bottom. Again, I think it's from Rockler's. This fits just perfectly in the groove in the table. And what this allows me to do is I can set this in place here, and then I've got a couple of these little fasteners. It's a T-slot, and I can slide this in place, tighten this up, one on both sides, and that'll keep this from moving. Now what this does is this here gives me a spot for the rails to go through. And obviously I've got this cut through here, but the way this works is this goes through the cutter like this here. Now you're kind of thinking, I bet, well, that's kind of dangerous. Well, that's why I've got the power feed here. The power feed's going to do all the work for me. The one thing about this fence system is I'm not referencing off of this fence. I'm referencing off of this edge of this fence. And what that's going to give me is consistency. I don't have to worry about any snipes. If my fence misaligned, I'm always referencing off this continuous straight edge. So when I angle my power feed's going to be angling this way, not this way. Alright, so I'm going to set it up and we'll run a couple pieces here. So here you can see I've got all 4 pieces milled in just a couple of minutes. What would have normally taken me probably about 15 minutes, it'll only take me about 2 minutes to cut the tenons, but I had to take the time to set the shaper up then to cut the correlating groove, or the corresponding groove. So, as you can see here, a tenon and a groove, 2 setups in only a few minutes, and that's flush. It's as flush as that's ever going to get. So I look forward to using this in the very near future. I got a little bit of work coming up here, a man cave for my sister-in-law and a little powder room cabinet, so that'll be something. And I'm sure I'll have some more stuff coming up here later this spring. So this was something that was long overdue. I should have done this a while ago. It was a minimal investment. The most expensive part was the power feed, but I actually got that online very cheap. This power feed, I think, was delivered to my door for about 479 bucks, I think. So, and I would say I think like $80 of that was actually freight via UPS. So this was a fun project, and as I start using it, you'll actually see it in other videos coming up in the future. So thanks for watching. Oh, one thing I need to check here. As I mentioned earlier about this system, the idea of referencing off of this side of the fence versus this fence, like you would on a traditional, like you would on a joiner or a router table, or anything of that nature, the beauty of it is my stock, before it's profiled, can vary a little bit in width. And because I'm referencing off this side of the fence versus this side, any variation gets taken out by the cutter. So if my piece varies in width, say for example when I'm ripping this door stock, I'm also typically ripping face frame stock. So when I rip this door stock on the table saw, I try and make it 2 9/16 approximately, but every time I set the fence up, it might be 2 9/16 strong, it might be just a little under 2 9/16, and my target goal here is 2.5 inches. So the beauty of that is my stock can vary. As long as it isn't underneath 2.5 inches, I'll always get 2.5 inches out of the machine. And that's exactly what I got. I got 2.5 inches. So this is set up perfectly. I believe it would be ready for some actual use. So if you have any questions or comments, I'd be glad to answer them for you. Thanks for watching.